Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my video. Amitabha. Key word. Listen to the key word. Down below this video, check out my music. And in this video, you're going to see me holding up the cinnamon and water. And down below, you got the video. You could Google STAYFIYA, Deal Figure Entertainment, and you will see what I'm talking about right now. Remember, I'm not in a position to do music. It's a free country, freedom of speech. As long as I ain't bashing the law and selling no threat, I could talk. All right, listen now. There was a time where human was not speaking the same language, meaning they didn't have no understanding of each other. Chinese was just speaking Chinese, European was speaking European, and in Africa, tribes was tribes did it in separate form, and tribes used to kill tribes, take their knowledge. That's what they used to do. So no one never used to understand each other. I want you to think on that for a minute. Think on that for a minute. Yeah. No one ever used to understand each other. No one. When I say understanding each other, when they talk, nobody didn't know how. But the human being make a shift, right? In America, all races live here. All races live here in America. Every language in the land speak in America. Every language in America. Everyone. Now, check the level now. All of them understand English. Let's say we'll be living in America. But not all Americans understand all language. You see the difference? So who have the more advanced? The Americans or the people them that could speak 2, 3, 4, 5 different languages? People who come from another country with their language and learn the American English. And he doing whatever he want in his language and doing whatever he want in English. Who is faster? Who's smarter? Yo, you got to be the person who speaks the 2 languages. You understand? This is what I learned. So, now, I decided to learn Spanish. I'm like, I gotta learn a few things about Spanish. I'm not saying I totally like learn Spanish, but I know how to say hello, how are you, and where this is. I try to do it in Arabic because they live here. If I go to the corner store, I'm gonna deal with the Arab man. I can't walk in there saying hello in my language. I want to able to say no more casa, assalamu alaikum, or salama, brother. You understand? This is why if I see a woman of them, I'm gonna say shudawa man. I don't say you look beautiful. I want to learn these things because all nations live here now. Now check about the Bible. The Bible lied and said, well, okay, if we the tower fall from the sky, the tower fall from the sky, and I think Nimrod was the king that built the tower to the sky, and God, the Bible claimed God struck it down, and everybody started to speak different language. And that is a lie, because from the beginning of time, if you know about the human race creation, all of us here on the planet did create with our own language before that thing that they'll trick us in the Bible about Nimrod. God strike it and everybody fell down, and who was speaking the same language go their own way. I said this before. That can never happen. Because look at this way. When the lion was created, the lion was created with his own roar. The monkey was created with his own sound. So there's no way that I don't see that happen. Now the point I'm trying to make is, from those times till now, the human race are all nations speaking the English language. They're all working together. So now you see the growth of that. Now you see hybridizing, you see cars, you see computers, because one nation couldn't do that. They have to have other mind in it. You understand that? So now you have destruction, a lot of destruction, because all nations speaking, working, understanding each other. A lot of destruction, a lot of disease, a lot of crashing and dying, and a lot of I don't want this, I don't want that. This is when all nations understand each other now. And there's a lot of people dying just to, in America here, a lot of people dying just to sing, just have a talent. You understand? Because all nations having their own mind, having their own thinking. All nations are having a one way of way of law. So this is what they're talking about in the New World Order. This is why the New World Order people worrying about the New World Order. But if all nation is communicating, you're gonna have to have New World Order because one nation, each nation have its own roots and they see things different. And there's no law to govern that. So I think this is why they want the New World Order. Understand? No. So if you live in man, and you're living across the world, we are living in a time now where everyone is understanding each other. So if you speak Patois, there's a white man there who speak Patois. If you speak Creole, there's a black man there, a white man there, a Chinese man there who speak Creole, and he could translate it back to someone else. If you don't speak Chinese, you could hire a translator and go to China, do business, and come back here. In Europe, the same thing. So all nations on earth are communicating with the same language, but it's causing destruction and a lot of death and disease. You understand that? So I do not know why so much misunderstanding, but if we all like communicating as one and we all understanding each other, we have to get rid of the destruction part and the killing and the murdering and the disabling. Those things got to like put aside and start focus on the positive energy. And I'm gonna show you what happened when they all come together. There was a time America and all the nations, they was building a floating city up in the sky. I don't know if you remember it, and they was put it all over the news. And it was all nations on that floating ship. And then suddenly they come on news and say they're stopping the project. Which I know they didn't stop that project. That project is still happening, and they're getting wider and wider and wider. That's the same thing that appeared down in Utah. At one of them little small states, and the mayor didn't know how to play it off with the people. And then in the end, like I said before, he come back and apologized. It was the same thing that they was building up there, does that? You understand that? Yeah, that's the same one. So all nation team up, it be more power, it be more knowledge, it be more stronger if we just stay positive. That there was a time all nation wasn't communicating, but now all nations are, but it's destructive. If you think I'm lying, you check it. And if you don't know about the floating city, go check it. Ask when if you Google that, you might see that they stopped the project, but in reality it's still happening. And they have the satellite up there right now. It was all nation idea. Understand? So listen, go below this video, check my music out. Peace. I'm Mitaba.